most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
We are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
Our
Bob.
humble opinion. Today we're going to talk about stop these or your shoulder pain never goes away. What we're talking about are pain makers, Brad. You came up with that term, by the way.
Yeah, but
You don't even remember that, do you?
well, I do too, Bob. But the people out there don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so a pain maker is an action, position, or thing that causes pain. Pain in your shoulder or pain referred down your arm can be caused by the shoulder.
Sure.
And our goal is to calm it down. We got to calm. The best way to calm pain makers down quite often is to avoid them.
Yeah.
Right off.
So, example, if reaching up over your head irritates your shoulder consistently, we're going to recommend stop doing it
right now.
at least temporarily.
Yes. And if you have to do it, eventually we're going to show you some videos and do some podcasts on how to do it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, over the next few weeks, what I want you to do is try to avoid these things, because the more you initiate pain, the more sensitive your nerves, the nerves that bring on the pain, become. And the more they become sensitive, the more they'll fire off a lot easier.
Right.
It's a vicious cycle.
Right. We use the analogy where you take a hammer and you hit your finger. If you just keep tapping that hammer on your finger over and over and over, that little tap starts to feel like a big hammer after a while. So the best thing is quit hammering your finger.
Quit hammering your finger,
and
right.
it'll get better.
And the reverse is true. Yeah, as you decrease the pain makers, your nerves become less sensitive and they're able to tolerate more pain. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you improve your posture, the shoulder blade, if it's in the right position, you can decrease your pain. It'll decrease the sensitivity of the nerves. So let's go over some of these, Brad, right now that are, again, eventually you can go back to these, but we're going to go over 10 things that you should be avoiding right now.
The big thing is listen to your body, but these are, from doing years of therapy, these are very common pain makers we hear from patients over the years.
Number one, and I'm so guilty of this, I always know not to do this, but I do it all the time, reach into your back seat from the front seat. So I'm going to be in the driver's seat, I need something from back there, I'm like, I should stop the car, or I should get out of the car, if I'm parked.
Don't put anything back there.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh, that's right, I need that. And I'll reach back, and your shoulder's in a really awkward position, and you're really putting a lot of stress on it, especially if you're already having pain.
Right.
So,
if you got children and you want to reach back there and
to whack them?
No, we're going to do their hair, comb their hair.
Go, what?
Anyway.
I always laugh at my friend of mine. He talked about how they had gotten a van, and their dad would get upset with him, and he'd be trying to hit him. Back in my age.
Well, yeah.
Parents spanked
50 years ago, it was legal.
50 years ago. And he'd reach back, and he couldn't reach them because they were
too far away.
They
got to get a smaller car.
They love that van. Number two, avoid repetitive overhead activities. Now, this is really true. Painting, pruning a tree, any activity that you're gonna, like sheetrocking or something like that.
Washing windows.
Leave
them dirty for a little bit.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you are going to say, well, who's going to do it? Well, right now, nobody's going to do it. I mean, give yourself a time. We'll get you back to it, but right now, you got to get that shoulder to calm down.
You might be able to get your kids or your spouse or maybe the neighbor.
Yeah, we'll give you a note if you need one. Number three, just repetitive activities, even with your arm level, but you have poor posture.
That's the big P.
That's the big P.
Yep.
PP, poor posture. Because if you're like working at a smart board or like you're painting.
Yep. So you're doing this, but your posture's like this.
You're impinging the shoulder then.
Yeah, right there. It's a big mechanical difference that you're feeling inside from that to that.
Yeah, if you're driving a car and you're one of those that likes to have the hand on top of the steering wheel.
Well, that way you can wave high easily to people.
That's a Minnesota wave or the Wisconsin wave with a couple fingers. So, they used to recommend putting your hands at 10 and 2. We actually recommend putting it at 3 and, what's the...
I say 4 and 8.
If 4 and 8 would work.
If you're looking at the numbers on a clock position.
Yeah, 4 and 8. I'm glad you did the math on that one for me. I don't know if it's really math, but
when you turn the steering wheel, does the 12 move with it?
Oh, don't get into that, Brad. You might have to put your hand back on.
Yeah.
Be safe in the car, no matter
Right.
what. Especially if you're listening to us right now. Number 4, forceful pulling. Like if you're going to lift a heavy suitcase.
Right.
Uh,
I just lifted some of that water softener, so 40
Oh,
pounds
yeah.
of it to get it in, and it's like that. You got to take your time and use some biomechanics between your back and your shoulder. Be careful of that. Pulling a lawnmower to start a
that's
lawnmower.
probably the worst one for me
Right.
by far.
The electric lawnmowers have come a long ways. You might
Yeah.
want to go with that, Rob.
Well, the one that I had was like when you're using a chainsaw.
oh,
God, I
yeah.
had one that wouldn't start, and I literally almost threw my arm out.
Did you
trying
have
to get-
gas in it?
I had gas
Oh,
in it.
good.
I don't know what I was doing.
Probably had the kill switch on. I've done that more than once. Why won't it start? It's like, oh. Anyways.
Pulling weeds. If you especially some of those really heavy weeds, you know.
Oh, those great big. I just pulled some of the the broadleafs, whatever they are.
Sure.
Anyways.
Good workout. Number 5. This isn't a problem Brad and I have, but with some women it could be if your bra strap is designed that it's too far out on the shoulder.
Right.
You want the bra strap to actually be closer to your neck, because if it's out further on the shoulder, it's going to depress your shoulder blade, which puts the shoulder blade in a bad position,
Right.
which leads to impingement and rotator cuff tears and bursitis and all those things. So you just want to have a bra that's designed so that the straps are further up.
You know, if the sports bras are.
Yeah, I think so,
I
right?
we think so. We
Yeah,
haven't
we-
talked to our wives and
We
daughters
need
about
a
it
female
specifically
perspective
yet.
on this show,
Yeah.
don't we? All right, number 6. If you use a backpack, and I'm really guilty of this one too.
Here, we've got one right here.
Yeah, if you use it on the same shoulder all the time. So I have a little carrying case,
Yeah.
and I always just to have it. Now I don't carry it that far, but I go from my car to
Yeah.
the office.
Well, like when we were students,
Yeah.
I always carried mine like this. When I was younger, then it didn't bother me. But even right now, it's not only, stressful on that shoulder, but your back too, because
Yes.
it tilts you. So
You're tilting a
you
certain
know,
way. You're better off using both straps
Yeah.
or switching shoulders.
there you go.
Number 7, again poor posture, and you're working at like let's say the computer or while you're eating or knitting. You knit a lot, don't you?
Well, I quit years ago.
So just again, it always comes out of that poor posture. Number 8 is sleeping wrong or sleeping on the shoulder. We're going to do a whole video on that, so you have to check that out.
Yeah, because that's critical. That
Yeah.
that can oftentimes be the primary pain maker.
It can be. Brad and I are always amazed at how it's often a patient will come in and will go, "Do you sleep on that shoulder?" Well, yeah. It's like I have for years, and I was like,
Well, I can't change that.
well, and that's why you're having pain. So, number 9, overhead sports. So this is like swimming, tennis, baseball.
Right.
I had my nephew. It was volleyball. Boy, that guy
Sure.
could spike the ball. He could send you running for the exits. I mean,
Yeah, I believe that.
it was kind of scary almost. But anyway, he had hurt his shoulder, and he followed this shoulder program, and it took care of it.
Yeah.
So.
Does he still play volleyball?
Yeah,
Oh,
yep,
good.
he still does.
Excellent.
He plays college level. Number 10, lifting weights overhead. We often do not recommend doing shoulder presses,
That
actually.
military press.
Yeah,
going
especially
straight-
behind your head. You
Yeah.
don't do it that
yeah.
way. Some of you can do it in front of your head, the bar in front of the head.
Yeah, if you have an
you have-
incline bench, that can
Or
be
if you have
helpful.
really good posture and really good form. But I'm going to tell you right now, most of you do not have good form. You don't. And most of you are going to have problems with it. So I almost recommend for most people just not to do it.
If you've got a sore shoulder, just take a break from it until it feels
Yeah.
better.
All right, those are 10 pain makers. We'll, over as we continue on this shoulder pain program, which you can find at bobandbrad.com, go to the program section. We'll talk about ways to handle these issues, like what to do instead.
But wait, Bob, there's more. And I think we forgot
Oh,
this
yeah.
on the last video.
Say it,
We're going to have these 10 pain makers on a PDF form. Is that
Yes.
correct? So that you
Yes.
can print it off. You don't have to go back and look at our.
It's a reminder. You
Our
can do a
mugs.
checklist then.
There you go. And you
So-
can put it actually on your mirror in your bedroom or the bathroom.
Yeah,
and then
remind you.
every day.
We're always here for you. We're always thinking about you. So
There you go.
take care.
Be careful.